the order is yet not out. The only news that we have is a tweet that is being circulated in social media, and the tweet says that an executive order is expected where the pricing of products in the US market would be, let's say, balanced as in comparison to what it prevails in the most favored nation markets. Now, we must understand that the pricing is always a factor of the PPP of a particular market, the GDP, and the kind of insurance policies that exist in that specific market. So they would be different. And This order, unless we actually see the executive order and what are the fine prints, it would be very difficult to make a comment on it. So it would be wise to wait for the order to come out and what are the exact things that are being prescribed. That would really we will have to, as IDMA, will have to understand those things, and then only we can make a comment. However, I would just like to also put another rider here is that India remains a key supplier to the US market as far as the off-patented drugs are concerned. And these generic off-patented drugs, which I believe the volumes would be more than 80% of the overall market size. Out of this market, we are one of the leading suppliers to the US. And the area where Indian pharmaceutical companies contribute, these are already the prices are driven down because of the market competitions that are there in the market, and there are multiple suppliers of these kind of products both within India and around the world. So probably that is not the area of focus of this executive order, but we'll still have to wait and see what it exactly what exact shape it takes, and then only we can make a comment on it. Basically, healthcare is something where there are a lot of unmet needs of a common population, both in the chronic and the acute areas. Chronic in the sense things like diabetes or all the healthcare, the lifestyle kind of issues. Also, in very recently post COVID, we have seen that there has been unmet needs that are also emerging in the infection. Like we had infections which are difficult to treat. So, and then of course there are very specialized areas, the rare diseases and all. So humanity needs a lot of research in understanding these unmet needs, in developing solutions for these unmet needs, and therefore it needs continuous investment in innovation, in research and development. And when you speak of the R&D, usually people, there is always a balance between risk and reward. So if you are trying to, in a way, reduce the rewards, the ability of companies who are research driven and who invest heavily into R&D, their appetite to risk their money, then their resources into innovation would also proportionately be affected. So, as IDMA, I believe that uh, if the rewards are being reduced, there definitely could be an impact on uh, people, the company's appetite or company's ability to risk and invest heavily into R&D. So that is one factor. However, we also understand that there could be practices of, let's say, evergreening of patents or things like that. So that could also be balanced out. So again, from India's perspective, it would have a very limited impact because, as I said, India's presence in the US market is more prominent on the generic side, which are the off-patented products. And therefore, I would say again that the impact on India could be very limited. But yes, in terms of overall investment on R&D, is something that I'm sure the government and people who are taking this decision would have definitely considered, uh, and they would have calculated what could be the impact and how they are going to support this. We'll have to see how that particular order comes out, because uh, in terms of legal, I'm not sure. In terms of supply chain and all, again, I don't see a major impact. The impact that it could probably have is on the investment in the R&D, because as I said, we all understand that yeah, there have to be companies who have to invest for the future, right? And that investment in R&D for looking for the future needs of humanity or the unmet needs, that definitely requires to invest in innovation. And somewhere that money has to come, whether it comes from the governments, it comes from the industry, it comes from venture capitalists, but somewhere it has to come and somewhere it has to be absorbed. So, what alternative mechanisms would come out? Uh, Again, time will tell. And based on that, the supply chains take a little reshape, uh, uh, but not too much. I don't think it is going to take too much on the supply chain of the products that are there in the market.